Yes, what's going on? This is the Listen Up podcast, and we have a very, very special guest today.
What's up, y'all?
Personal influence to me in my life. One of my favorite MCs ever, Brewin.
I appreciate that, man.
Yo,
Thank you,
man,
brother.
this is
Good looking out.
This is some surreal shit. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is some surreal
Yo,
stuff.
you hit me. I was like, "Word, you on this side?" So,
Yeah.
so let me come through. I
Dope.
respect this brother right here.
100, man. So, yeah, man. I would like to start with your journey. Like, you grew up in the BX.
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
put
what
the
part of Bronx are you from?
The Northeast, like
Dope.
right underneath
Okay.
Mount Vernon and Yonkers. So it's
Dope.
like if you know the Bronx, this above us is Westchester County, and that's where like Mount Vernon and Yonkers and the Rochelle is. So like basically from Gun Hill to 241st, that's where I used to run around.
Okay,
And
cool.
it was a good place to grow up.
Dope. And
Yeah.
must be very influential on you in terms of hip hop culture.
Yeah, definitely,
place, yeah.
definitely. I mean, it wasn't like, I'm not gonna front. It wasn't like Bronx River or certain other spots that definitely more birthed the culture. But it found its way up there, and a lot of the cats had if you probably knew somebody from that side, and then we had our own thing too. Like we had our own parties in the parks, and we had our own parties in the community centers. From whether it be Eden Wall or it would be like Co-op City or just cats' backyards. And I mean, Funk Flex is from my area.
Okay.
He's from like the Northeast side, and it was dope. It was a dope place to grow up. Slick Rick is from my area.
Oh, see? Okay.
The Don is from my area. Quayshawn.
The Don is in Godfather Don?
Just the Don.
Oh, okay.
Grayson and Jason, they from my area.
Dope.
And like I said, you could walk, literally 2 blocks across the street, and I was in Mount Vernon.
Right, okay.
So I would see a lot of my dudes, new dudes in Mount Vernon. I knew dudes in Mount Vernon. We would try to play ball with them. They were real good. And, I used to see Hev, and, I knew dudes who knew, like, Spunk Bigger, and, I would see Pete and CL. I've been to back in the days, a couple of house parties in, like, the basement. When they talk about the basement, I remember parties at the basement.
Right.
Like on the pool table. Get off the pool table. But shout out to my man Skinny Matt. He used to run me around Mount Vernon.
And you're in your Trini, right? You're Trini, half Trini?
Half Trini, half Jamaican.
Right,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So it's very Caribbean up there.
Yeah. We can shout out to all the Trinis out there.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
Trini myself.
Definitely shout out to the Trini Massive.
I saw you do a video in Belmont.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Went out there. My grandfather had passed.
Okay.
And Slim just, he got on social media, was like, we going to be around, and people just, brothers just embraced us, and I just, mad love to Trinidad.
And when you say he's talking about Buddy Slim?
Yeah, my brother.
And that's
Buddy
your brother,
Slim.
and Queen Heroin is your sister?
Yeah, Buddy
That's
Slim's
great.
my brother, and Queen Heroin's my sister.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's
I actually
same
never
mama,
knew that.
same daddy.
That's dope. Queen Heroin is very
Yeah.
dope as well, man.
Shout out to my brother Mark as well, but he don't rhyme, he's a little bit older. He's in Jamaica, he lives in Jamaica, my brother
Okay.
Mark.
So I would like to talk about the early days of your career because your pen game is so complex. It's like your pen game is like you have to really be a listener to understand the craft. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I appreciate that,
You know what
man.
I mean? So that's why I really have gravitated towards you over the years because it's like when you have an MC as complex as you, it's kind of hard to like take in other MCs. Well, there's obviously a lot of good MCs out there, but the levels are very high. So I would like to know who inspired you to actually pick up the pen and write.
I mean, I think I was inspired by, a lot of the cats that inspired everybody. I mean, KRS, huge influence. Rick, like I said, huge influence. Definitely Special Ed, huge influence. Big Daddy Kane. These are the dudes who, definitely made me want to write when I started hearing them. And then, there's other dudes who probably aren't as well known. Chill Rob G, Lakim Shabazz. I mean, Black Rock and Rob. Like, there's just, there's always, and then even as I started rhyming, other dudes I would hear, like E-Rule. Like, there was always cats who had, like, really intricate styles, Pharaoh Monch. So it wasn't nobody that, nobody hasn't heard. I know I forget Super Love and Sea Casanova Rudd. I thought they were so dope. So I was just lucky to be in New York and be able to like turn on a lot of the radio stations. I'm talking like obviously Stretch and Bob, but pre-Stretch and Bob, everything that came on Saturday night. That was DNA Hank Love show, and Special K and Teddy Ted. Like that whole, we had like a whole night where it would just be, I don't want to say underground, but it would be joints like you would hear the curses. So on Friday night and Saturday night, you would listen to Kiss and BLS. And then after they finished, then you would turn to, I think it was 105.9. And then it would be like Special K and Teddy Ted. And like I said, DNA and Hank Love. And then Mecca, she had a show, which was 88 Hip Hop before when it was just on the radio. So, it was just like great, great, great music that you kind of had to be thirsty for. It wasn't easily accessible. Like you made your tapes, you listened to your tapes, you studied that, and then the next weekend came, and then boom, you made new tapes, and it was just like an exchange of tapes, and you was just checking out styles, and it was I was lucky, like literally lived in the Bronx until I was 12, 13, 14, no 13. 13 we moved to New Rochelle. By the time we moved to New Rochelle, Masters of Ceremony had already dropped. So like Cracked Out and all that was already out. I was like, damn, these cats are from New Rochelle. And then I started getting tapes of the Brand Nubian shit. I was like, damn, these dudes is dumb nice too.
Right.
So I always, I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time when it came to hip hop.
Okay.
Like I was definitely exposed to good stuff. And, just weird stuff would happen. Like my man, Fat Doug, he knew Rick. So I remember just like, like my brother Slim chilling with Rick, bringing Rick to the crib, because he knew some of the dancers in the Hey Young World video, Shane and Salima. And it was just like, I was watching the video a second ago, and now they chilling in the crib.
Kind of how this is with me, like kind of how this is with me right now.
Nah, man, this is different than that. You know what I mean? But it was real cool just to really be around it. And obviously, there's so many cats. I mean, I haven't even mentioned De La, my love for them brothers. There's just so many cats out here that I'm fortunate enough to say that I've been in their presence and see these brothers work. So growing up, it was just there. It was there, and I was really fortunate. And even beyond hip hop, I just always had like a love for literature. I'm an English teacher now, and just had always thought words were dope. They're their own sounds. They have their own rhythm, and it just was like a cool challenge to combine them and see what you could come up with.
Dope, man. And I'd like to talk about your early days of your career. So talk me through, the whole Juggaknots thing. Like what happened there? Like you guys, obviously your siblings and you were getting together spitting, but you ended up being on Thunderland Records, right?
Yeah.
Bobby O. How did that come about?
Well, I mean, honestly, that came indirectly from Pete Nice. So Pete Nice was my basketball coach at Bruns Big Apple basketball camp.
Wow.
So George Bruns used to play for the Nets. And he and this cat Ray Nash had a basketball camp at Manhattan College, which is in the Bronx. It's in Riverdale / Kingsbridge. So he's like, all right, cool, let's go to basketball camp. Everybody thought they was Michael Jordan or whatever. Bernard King in New York. We don't like Jordan here if you're a real Knicks fan. So we go, we doing our thing, and then I end up with this coach, Peter Nash, Ray Nash's son. And Ray Nash used to coach Bishop Ford, which was a New York City powerhouse basketball team in Brooklyn. And I was like, yo, this dude's mad cool. He's a good coach. He's a good dude. And then some days I would just hear him like chilling, rhyming. I was like, damn, man, you got some rhymes. He's like, yeah, I mess around. Little did I know at the time he was already signed to Def Jam.
Okay.
So we had the basketball camp. You know what I mean? I think I spit some rhymes for him. By then I was 13. I've been rhyming for a year.
Right.
And then he was like, yo, that's all right. Slim kept in contact with him after, because that's what Slim do. And then he's like, yo, we at 96th Street. Come through at the Goat Park. All right, let's go chill with Pete. So we would go chill with Pete. He would have more rhymes. And by then, it was getting real close to, the third base joint dropping. So soon after the third base joint dropped, and it was like, yo, Pete's killing it. Like, he's really doing it, him and his man Search. So even on the liner notes to the third base album, it says peace to PS, Breeze, and Kev. That's us. That's the Juggaknots minus my sister, my DJ Boo, and other cats. So it was like, that was like blew my mind. I was showing everybody the album, like, yo, man, we in the liner notes for, third base. And
bro, I had no idea. I didn't know any of this.
yeah, it's on there.
Yeah,
it's on
crazy.
there. So at the end of the day, like, we just kept in contact. And like I said, Slim, he's always out there connecting. He had At that point he had did the joint with for Terry and Monica. That was on Epic. And the same one with Big is like, when I busted Cherry and Monica and Terry, he's talking about them. So that was like the whole Uptown crew. And it was like Puff and them. It was a lot of them. Like, everybody knew each other. So we started doing our thing on the side, And I mean, after that, it was just like, people were like, yo, y'all should do something. And then he started playing it for different people. It got in the hands of Elektra, but at the same time, we were still cool with, obviously, with Pete. And then Pete introduced us to Barbito because they had the Hoppo. And then, we get dropped. Things happen. It didn't work out with Lecture. We got dropped. We were like, yo, well, let's talk to Barbito. Because we were still in contact. Mm-hmm. And he heard the joints. He was like, yo, let me throw it out. We were like, all right. So he ended up throwing it out.
So it wasn't actually recorded for Thunderlim. You recorded for Electra.
It was recorded for Electra.
And then it came out for Thunderlim.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know the problem they had with it. Obviously, there weren't, like, radio hits. Mm-hmm. But, I thought that we weren't ready at that point to adjust our sound or whatever you want to call. I want to say, You
wasn't trying to dilute the art.
I don't want to say sell out or nothing. It's just when you're 19 years old and you think you know everything, and maybe
you was 19 when you wrote those tracks.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I was younger than that for a lot of them. I mean,
really?
I wrote Romper Room when I was like 15.
Are you serious?
Wrote Romper Room when I was 15. Wrote Clear Blue when I was 18.
Oh my word.
Wrote I'm Gonna Kill You, I believe. Yeah, the majority of that was like written. Everything was, I probably wrote the majority of the stuff for that record before I was 19.
That's crazy, because when I hear that album and I hear the crazy concepts you got on there, like Lucifer, about, this guy working in an abortion clinic and he just loses his shit because of all the shit that he sees in there. And you got like Clear Blue Skies about, someone who tries to bring a white guy trying to bring a black girlfriend home and the father's just not feeling it. You got like, Trouble Man, where you're talking about giving birth to a verse. This is real creative shit.
That was all pre-19.
That's crazy.
None of that was written before I turned 20, I don't believe.
Who produced the album?
That was mostly Slim.
Okay.
And then there was also a lot of work done by my man Chris Liggio, who ended up doing a lot of work for a lot of people. He got a group out now. You can look him up. He did "Don't Let It Go to Your Head" for Brand Nubian.
Oh yeah, that's a dope joint.
He did a couple of real dope joints on Pooh Bah's 2000 album, because he's from the Westchester side too. So he did a couple joints, but it was all done together. Like the majority of it was done by Slim, and then other joints were done in collaboration with Chris Liggio. And there's like one joint where he did the majority of the joints. But I mean, them brothers were on fire. It was really early on in everybody's career. I did like one joint.
Which joint?
I did Love and Maxon.
Okay,
I did two joints. I did Love and Maxon,
got you,
and I did the Watch Your Head remix.
All right, okay.
I did that joint, which was an accident. I'm not going. You know when you put the wrong disc into the SP,
right?
and then you hear something crazy come out. It's like, oh, so that happened with that joint, and then it was
crazy.
like a little adjustment. I was like, yeah, I'm using this.
So all that was made in the SP 1200.
Yeah, Watch Your Head remix, Love and Maxon, and Sex Type Thing.
Right. Okay.
And I didn't produce Sex Type Thing. So it's all Slim's records. I said I wanted to let's get the SP sound in it.
Right.
So I rechopped it in the SP.
That's dope. Okay, well, yeah, listen to that album, Clear Blue Skies. To me, it's a classic, 100%.
Appreciate
Very
that.
underrated album, very slept on. I still play it often. It's always on rotation. It's dope. The Juggaknots, very, very talented family, man. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't even know Buddy's been produced as well.
I mean the majority, like, he got us out there. When you listen to like Terry and Monica, the first single, like, that's my brother.
So that's your older brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not my oldest, but he's
One
my
of your
brother.
older brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously Queen Heroin is very dope on that album. Projection, she goes crazy on.
Yeah, I mean she's dope to this day. She's doing some stuff, really good music. She had a solo out before me.
Okay.
Which I thought was really dope.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't get enough light, and we love this art. We love this music. So
100%. Must have been a very creative and competitive, should I say, family, no?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
No?
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of our talents were honed in the dark. You know what I mean? Like Slim was the first one to like get out there and be like performing before there was the Juggaknots. He would like DJ parties.
Right.
He would rhyme at them parties. And like I said, man, I would write rhymes and dudes stole my rhyme books and then try to spit my rhymes. And I'd be like, yo, what are you doing?
That's crazy.
And I'm like, yo, just let me teach you how to say it right. Like, you're going to steal my rhyme book. You're going to steal a page out the rhyme book and mess my verse all up. Let me just, this word is, come on, man. So I was always on the low with it. I just liked the process. I just liked the actual product. It wasn't like, yo, we going whatever. I just liked rhyming. I liked hearing rhymes.
Yeah, well,
And I wanted to just, the feeling that I got listening to him, I wanted to try to give myself that.
Right.
I ain't know it was going to get further than that, but cats pulled me out. I'm not going to front.
No, you're dope though, bro, man. You're
I
like,
appreciate
you're
that,
one of the
man.
best, real talk. You probably don't see it, but you know what I mean? I'm sure slightly inside you do know. But I would like to talk to you about, working with Prince Paul. I would like to talk to you about that. I mean, how did that come? How did that come? Because Prince Amongst Thieves, if you haven't listened, you should. You're not really a hip hop fan if you don't know this album. I'm just gonna say that straight. Because Prince Amongst Thieves is a story. I remember when I saw the video on your MTV Raps when I was a kid. I was about I think 13 or maybe 12 at the time, and I was like, this is incredible. Like it's a story. You, Big Shaw.
Yeah.
You had
Shout out to All City.
Cool
Word up.
Keith on there, De La Soul, Exhibit, Seda X. Who else was on there, man? It was Big Daddy Kane, and
Yeah,
and it was
Chubb
cool.
Rock. There was Everlast. There was a lot of Cool Keith, man. Jesus, oof, welcome to Weapon World.
Crazy, but you were the star of the show.
Yeah, I mean, like
you were the star. All these names. But
that's
you were the
why
star.
I don't want to talk about the time of Electra. Like it was like ooh boo hoo. Nah, it wasn't. Like it was cool. Like I remember being in the studio one night. Like it was me and my man Derek in the studio one night, and it was Old Dirty Bastard in the studio right next to me.
Right.
At what is that joint? It wasn't Sony. It wasn't Chungking, but it allowed me those experiences. We paid for our own studio time before. And we had some good experiences. I remember being in Calliope, and Calliope was bugged because it was that's where it was not very well ran. So I remember us doing a session and Drez coming in and playing the piano. You did that, Drez. You came in and played the piano during our session. Who does that? Anyway, but that's a Bronx cat, so I'm going to let it ride. But at any rate, I was like, yo, that's cool. Drez is in my session. I remember being in the session with Doom and chilling with Doom in the session and working on a joint the door opened. It was Lauryn Hill and Proswell.
Wow.
No, it was Lauryn Hill and Wyclef.
Wow.
And they peeked their head and they were like, "Yo, this shit sounds good." I was like, "Yeah, word. That's what's up. All right, see you later." I was a dick. Like I didn't know that. I should be like, "No, come in. Let me pull you up a chair." But it was like I was so focused on just getting this work in there.
Right.
And so like these were some experiences that could only have been afforded through getting a major. Hence the reason with Paul.
How did Prince Paul, like, what happened there? How did Prince Paul?
We was at Electra East West, and our Kim. Shout out to Kim. You know, people talk about Rich Posada. They talk about Dante Ross. Kim, I can't remember her last name. Somebody please, when y'all see this, try to clarify the last name. But Kim was a woman of color A&R that was really in our corner, try to do everything she could for us, try to, you know, tell, you know, these people like, nah, these kids got it. They the next thing. They the next wave. She was 100% in our corner. So when we was like, look, they were like, we want to give y'all some remixes. Who's your choice of remixes? If, you know, producer wise. And we was like, well, you know, we were like Pete Rock, Large Professor, and Prince Paul. So I don't know about what happened with Pete and Large, but you know, they made a tape of like demos we had at the time, and they gave it to Paul. And he went on a tour for Psychoanalysis.
Love that album, classic.
And he said that he was killing that tape. We were actually talking about this the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, man, that tape." He was like, one song had like a 24-bar intro. I was like, "Yo, we were young kids, we were high, we were doing dumb shit." But he was like, I knew there was something to y'all though. I wanted to work with y'all. So at the time I was working at a group home. I came home from work, and Tracy, my first kid's mother, she was like, "Yo, you got a message." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll deal with that later." It was, you know, I'm working night job. She's like, "Nah, you dealing with this now. This is Prince Paul." I was like, "Yo, stop playing with me." She's like, "Nah, it's Prince Paul. Prince Paul called. I talked to him. Here's his number. Call him." So I called him. He was like, "Yo, I want you to be on this project. I can't tell you too much about it. Are you interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm interested." He was like, "All right, cool. You got it. You know, just hear me out. It's going to sound a little different." And then he just started telling me about the project. I was like, "Yo, that sounds dope." He already had the entire script written.
Right.
It was all set up. So in his mind, so Paul did the screenwriting. He did the soundtrack. He had the casting in mind. I don't know if I was the first dude in mind. Right. Honestly, you got to ask him. I think it was somebody else. But
it doesn't matter who. I mean, you got to look at it like this. This is an album with so many legends on the tape, and you're the star.
Yeah, I was literally just trying to hold my own amongst them dudes, and I was like, yo, every time I get on the mic, I just gotta do what I do.
Yeah.
I gotta be whoever Tyreek need to be, and that was my goal. You know, so he would be like, all right, here's the situation. You know, whatever. He would always set up the scenario and be like, we need a song like this. I'm like, all right, got you. I would go write the joint, come back. He had a little, we recorded at his old crib in Amityville, and we recorded it at a little production studio in Greenpoint before it was Greenpoint. And honestly, I never, there was like a, of course, he was coaching me, but it was never like, you really messed this one up. I never felt that. So that felt good because it's Prince Paul.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you meet his standards.
100%. And that tape is like, is so unique. It's very Prince Paul. It's very different. It's very unique. And like,
it is and it isn't.
I just want to know how you felt when you actually watched that video and saw yourself starring in a movie. It basically is like it's a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people say it's definitely so Prince Paul, but I think, you know, Prince Paul is a master of the random and the cohesive. And it's like, I don't know how many cats could like do like some of the De La stuff, which was all over the place in the best way possible, and then something that was so grounded in one idea, one thread, like a Prince Among Thieves, and be able to excel in both. So, like, it was so Prince Paul because is what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it showed his range of like artistry, where it's like he could do something completely random and weird and off the wall sounds, and then something else which every single sound had a purpose towards this final idea.
This is what I mean when I say it's all Prince Paul, just the fact that he's a creative genius.
I'm 100%. I'm with you on that. 100%.
Not that he's like always zany, even though I love the zany shit, but he's just a creative genius.
Yeah.
And I felt like it definitely, I mean, just knowing when I listen to the Juggaknots stuff, how much subjects you can touch on, and you know, you're yourself. I would definitely consider you in that same bracket as a creative genius in terms of your pen, because when you write bars, it's always something different. And with that, it's like it's kind of second nature for you to just rhyme about different subjects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for you to carry the narrative, and that's how difficult was that to carry a narrative through a whole tape?
I mean,
or was it just like was it easy?
I just really had to like try to really like empathize with what Tariq was going through, and a lot of stuff I could empathize with, some stuff I couldn't. He was a lot more in the street than I ever got with my little exploits. But I knew dudes who did.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wasn't that far removed. And it was just like, you know, a dude who gets over his head and just try to encapsulate that, and, you know, just really try to get into character. And, you know, I think it did what it did.
No, it's a brilliant tape. I'm a big fan of like a lot, like your work has meant a lot to me in my life. I'm keep it real with you, bro.
Thank you.
Know what I mean? And that's why I'm always trying to holler at you, just in that.
I mean, when you said you was in New York, I was like, well, I gotta try to make it happen,
really
because
appreciate this, bro.
You know, you coming from across the pond, and I was like, well, when's she gonna be here next? I said, I got grades due tomorrow. I was like, yo, it's a school night. We gonna get right into it. I was like, we gotta come back in the summertime so I can show you the town.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll come up to the Bronx or something.
No,
but
100.
But definitely, I'm here in Brooklyn.
Like I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got stuff to do in the morning. But I really do appreciate you coming out. I want to say thank you for guys like Matt, Loudmouth, a lot of my older brothers, Skillet, Steph. These guys have really put me onto you from young.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They nurtured me. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I've always been a fan of you from young. Even like the stuff you've done with like Def Jux as well. You've done a lot of tracks with like LP, Cannibal Ox.
Those are the homies.
So, you know, over the years, I've been a big fan of you. I've followed your journey. And, bro, I really appreciate you coming down. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you again when I get back out here.
Yeah, definitely. By then, you know, maybe we'll have a new project to talk about. I'm definitely 100. Trying to get something out real soon.
So yeah, talk to me about what you're, you know, musically, what you're up to right now.
Right now, honestly, just I got a project that has basically a lot of songs that should have been on albums, but for just a lot of different reasons. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. You know, they never, like a solo has never materialized, whether it would be, you know, just whatever. You know, life happens, or start working on this other project, or, you know. So I just, you know, I was like, yo, I'm not going to do nothing for a minute, and just really try to nail down this, you know, this older music. Some stuff was easy, where it was like it was already mixed and mastered. Other stuff I had to, you know, respit. Other stuff is fairly new. So basically, it's like from 2003 to 2018.
Wow.
And it's 3 joints that cats have heard, and 10 joints cats have never heard.
Right.
So I'm happy for that. You know what I mean? It's like I hope people will appreciate it, and I'm just happy to have something, you know, something out to give people, because, you know, my fans hold me down, and I appreciate y'all. And you know what? I'm just going on some other stuff now where production is better than perfection, and that's really the way I'm trying to look at, you know, the next couple years of music.
Yeah.
Cause I love this music, man. I love rhymes. I love beats. You know, I really, you know, I just want to contribute more to this art form that has given me so much solace and been able to take me out of dark places.
No, definitely, man.
So I hope it'll do that. I hope it'll do that for somebody. And you know, it's hard. You know, that first album I love doing it. You know, Use Your Confusion, it ain't get the same kind of reception, but I love that record. You know what I mean? And it's just like I just really I love making music. I love the joint that came out you know, a month ago with Blockhead. You know what I mean? It's
I need
like,
to hear that.
yeah, like everything. It's just, it feels good to, conceptualize it, put it down, and then hear how the voice would deliver it and present it. And I still get a good feeling out of just doing that. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
You know what I mean? This is like, you're one of, like I say, man, you're one of the best. So, I can fully understand
I
that.
definitely appreciate that.
And that track you got with so that X, man, that shit is cold. I love that video as well, man. That's
that
dope,
was
man.
a joint shout out to Sadat once again. That's Slim,
Yeah.
my brother.
Was that Body Slim on that as well?
Well, he makes a lot happen for us, man. Like,
Right.
honestly, he allows me to stay in the crib and just write or do whatever. And he the one that's really, he's out there. He's in the hood. He's, there's a lot of meetings at Slim spot.
Connecting the dots.
And he connects. He keeps us accessible streetwise, and I gotta help him out with that.
Dope, man.
But that's how he made that happen. He made the Rick joint happen, the Vows joint with Rick. Shout out to Sucio, who got the production from Oh No to do the Vows joint, to do the Daddy's Little Girl joint. That was my sister solo on Use Your Confusion. Use Your Confusion got some joints. Y'all need to
100,
check that joint out.
And are you looking to get back in the studio with Prince Paul anytime?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to get back in the studio with Paul. I'm looking to get back in the studio with myself. It's been really, like, of late, finishing this project, just being in the studio, it's been feeling good. It's bugged because it's like, brother's older. It's like I go in there, I'll be like, let me listen. I'll be having my grade book. I'll be grading shit. But it's like you got to multitask.
100.
But it feels good to be in the studio. What cats can do now with these plugins is like mind altering. So it's like you get somebody who really knows what they're doing. I think I have that person now. Shout out to my man Daryl from the Attic Studios NYC. As far as mixing hip hop, this young brother has a real tight ear. Y'all should holler at him if you in New York.
Dope. And
so I feel safe that I could get some more music out. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I'm looking forward to all the stuff you got coming. I was with Homeboy Sandman yesterday. I know you done some work with him as well. How did you guys link up?
I just always respected that brother's come up, man. Like when he came up, it was just like I'd see him literally destroying stages. Like just see him. That dude's bad man.
Yeah, man. He's got
what
bars
I mean?
for days.
And he's just like, I mean, you could tell like he's just a student of the game.
Real creative dude.
Real creative. I respect dudes who really like take the art form and just really say, all right, well, what's next? And that's really what he's doing. The joint with him and Edan is just so nuts. And
I actually went to this show in London.
yeah, nah, man. Both of them brothers just they do so right by the art form. And nothing but respect for that dude, man. And I'm just a fan. You know what I mean? When I hear these dudes come out, people talk about hip hop this, hip hop. Man, you ain't listening.
Yeah,
There's
100%.
good music out here. I mean,
Definitely.
You listen to your production. Like this brother's out here doing it. So I get a little mad at cats my age sometimes. 40s and whatnot, and talking about this no music out here. There's a lot of good music out here.
100%.
Just waiting for cats to continue supporting it. So I try to be wary of that whole nostalgia trap, because it's like you love what you love. I get it, you know what I mean? But you could be loving so much more.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
definitely.
mean? So when I listen to a joint like, Humble Pie, I give it a shot. It's nuts. It's amazing music.
100%. And I know, years back, I remember I seen a picture of you at Marketplace with Sarah Love and just kicking myself like, how was I not there? Like Juggaknots in London, I wasn't there.
Yeah, man.
What was that? Why were you in London that time? Were you performing?
Yeah, we was performing, and that was a trip I'm very fond of. Went out there.
I can't believe it wasn't at that
DJ
show.
Boo
Man.
had a real. I mean, one time we was at the pub with me and my man Pumpkinhead. Rest in
peace,
paradise.
rest in peace.
You know what I mean? And just had the greatest day. I don't take enough pictures. We had good pictures that day. And just dug it, man. Like that's another reason why I'm just trying to get some more music out here. It's like I miss traveling, you know, with the focus being music.
Where have you been?
We've been around. Been to Belgium, been to France a couple times, been to Italy a couple times, been to Spain.
Because in Europe we love that real hip hop, man.
Yeah,
We love it.
definitely trying to get out there.
Yeah.
Definitely been to England, but there's so many spots haven't been to. Would love to go to Ireland. I mean, never been to Africa. Never hit any of South America. Never been to Canada. You know, obviously, and hit pretty much most spots in the U.S. continental. You know, besides Texas. And Texas is good for hip hop, but definitely done Florida, done Cali, done Detroit, done Chicago, done Ohio, and we make our runs here. You know, Boston, Connecticut, Jersey. But you know, it gets a little different when you get a little older, man. I like my bed. I like my house. I like some quiet. I like cuddling my daughter. You know, the little one, and I love seeing my older daughter who's about to graduate college, and seeing my son I want him to continue as an artist, as a young man.
Dope.
So it's you know, I'm definitely trying to come out, but it got to be right. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not starving to come out, but if the new stuff comes out, people are like, yeah, I really want to hear that, man, and you know, get at Slim, and we'll figure something out. But I definitely want to be more productive in the next 4 years, man. You know, I would love to get a couple of really, really major projects out.
Right.
Whether it's another, you know, I consider this a solo effort, but it's not a solo album because it don't have that continuity. You know, but if I could, definitely, you know, I look at cats like, you know, I mean, Master Ace is, to me, one of the greatest MCs to ever do it. And look what he's doing now. You know what I mean? That Brooklyn project is amazing.
Same with Rock Marciano, someone that just kept grinding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I see these
cream rises
dudes.
to the top.
Yeah, and it's like they getting theirs. So it's like I just want to be able to give my similar effort if I could empty the tank a little bit. And it's cool because it's like you get older, man. It's like if you still doing this, your only distractions are real shit. Like paying the mortgage.
Right.
Taking your kids to the doctor.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not like, yo, I got 5, you know, slide pieces. I'm like, I don't have none of that. It's either family or the art form.
And I don't want to be one of those annoying guys that, like, you know, just come up to you and just be like, yo, you got to release a new tape, rare. But it's the fan in me. It's the fan in me. And I mean, probably always going to be like that. I'm probably going to hit you up like every couple months and be like, yo, what's some new shit, you know?
when it drops, you tell me what, you know, it's 10 joints, never heard before, and, you know.
Maybe I can get a sneak peek?
Not here. But, I mean, we take that off. I can play you some of a couple joints.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but, yeah, man, it's still coming.
Wicked. Thank you.
Yeah, my brother.
Thank you very much.
We out here in BK.
You actually don't know what this means to me.
Yeah, man, you hit me up and he was like, yo, man. He's like, you know, you're very complimentary, my brother.
You're one of the best, bro.
For what, you know, like, you doing your thing and, you know, I just get a good vibe, you know, from you, so.
100%.
On the mind is a terrible thing to waste, use face disposal. Running your mouth with no skill. You don't piece to your ass cracking, so rubber bring it live, but it'll be your last yapping. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, use fake disposal. Running your mouth with no skill. Check it out. You don't piece to your ass cracking, mess around, I got to send that ass packing. Check it out.